If client flow in a service business feels inconsistent, it usually doesn't mean that there aren't enough leads. It actually means that leads are coming in, but they are not moving through your business properly. And because this part is not visible, it usually just gets interpreted as I need more leads. So let me give you an example of a boutique consulting firm. Over the last couple of weeks, they've had 5 or 6 solid conversations. All are with the right sort of clients, and there is some level of interest in each one of those. So on paper, these should convert. But when you look at actually what happens next, only a few are really moving forward. Nothing has closed, and it feels like the pipeline has dried up. Why? It's not actually a demand issue. What you need to look at here is a breakdown of how these conversations are being handled. So here's how to diagnose your client pipeline and understand where things are actually falling apart so you can fix them. So step 1, start looking at how your leads are coming in. You don't want all your leads to be coming in from a single system because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. They should come from different places. Maybe you get some referrals, maybe you get some from content, maybe some from reaching out directly. And even if you are getting your leads from multiple sources, even if you are having activity, you do want to have structure around it because otherwise you are dependent on how the market will react to you. So for each of the channels that's giving you leads, you do want to put some effort there so that there is predictability. When there's no predictability, that is uncertainty. So you want to have a consistent flow of leads, and that comes from having an active way that leads your business. Now, step 2, look at how the leads move inside your business, because this is where things usually break. A lead comes in, a manager speaks to them, and it is a good opportunity. But then they have to follow up with a partner, but the internal conversation doesn't happen because the partner gets pulled into another project, the manager simply runs out of time, they have another deadline, and meanwhile, the lead just sits there. So from the outside, it looks as if the lead didn't convert. But in reality, it actually never progressed. Leads don't get lost because they are not good. They get lost because no one is clearly moving them forward. The longer you wait, the colder your lead gets. And that gets me to step 3. Review the client journey. Look at the client side of the conversation. You met your client, you exchanged some information, but the next step is unclear. From the client side, they're trying to understand what to do next. They're wondering if this is the right decision or not. They're wondering how they should proceed within the company that they work. And they're also wanting to understand what happens if they say yes, because they are the ones responsible for that decision. So there are so many unclear things for your client, and it might just feel a lot easier not to do anything at all. They are likely not going to try too hard to move forward because it's very fuzzy and unclear to them. So you want to think about your sales conversation instead as a process of guiding your client forward towards a decision. Yet, what I notice a lot of times is that sales conversations end like this. Have a think about it. We can connect when you want. Let me know what you decide. Basically, if the client has to think, then your business hasn't guided them to a decision. Because now, in your client's head, they have to process everything themselves. And frankly, it is too overwhelming. Days take over as usual, and life just goes on. So nothing changes and no decision is made. Because if the next step is not clear, the decision is just not going to happen. That's how it is. So that gets me to step 4. Prioritize sales. And this is the part that most businesses miss. Sales is often treated as something that either just happens or something that a few people in the company are responsible for. But in a service business, this is not how it works. Anyone who is interacting with potential clients, your managers, consultants, team members, even your front staff, they're all part of the sales process because they're all interacting with leads. your potential customers. They should all be able to bring them forward. And yet, most of your company members are not trained for sales at all, even though they are going to be interacting with your potential clients all the time. But they just have limited knowledge based on their skill and role. They might understand a little bit about the service, about the technical side or the delivery, but sales is very different. Sales is guiding someone through a decision to solve the problem that they have. Sales is about building trust that you will be able to shift them from where they are to where they want to go and help them feel very clear and confident to move forward with you. So it's a completely different skill. And if you do not arm every single person in your company with at least some level of sales training, then you are losing leads, because you can have excellent people, strong managers, highly capable team members, but that doesn't mean that they automatically know how to create clarity or handle hesitation or guide decisions. So help your entire team connect you to more leads and train your sales team to sell better. Quick recap. If your client pipeline is inconsistent, then you should review all part of your sales process. Review how leads are coming in and generate leads actively. Review your lead journey and have someone guide them, move them forward. And prioritize sales across your team, else you are just throwing away dollars that you don't want to. So, if you want your company to make more sales and improve how these sales conversations are handled, decisions are guided, and help your leads become clients, then you can reach out to me. We can look at how your sales is currently working inside your business and where that gap is.